Well, thanks for joining me, and we're looking ahead to the new season. Obviously, this time of year, fans are always very excited, full of hope. Just tell us a little bit about your own hopes going into this season.
I think first and foremost, after the difficult period the club's had, and also, myself and my staff coming in at Christmas, just to stabilise really. Inwardly, obviously, we want to do a little bit better than that. But first and foremost, to stabilise, see where we're at, and then hopefully have a good season.
Now, obviously, you've brought some players in already. Most eye-catching one, I suppose, is obviously Mitch Walker returning to the club, an absolute Dover legend. Just tell us how that came about and what you're hoping that he's going to bring this season.
I've always stayed in contact with Mitch. Obviously, he was here with us. He was actually here when we turned up with Chris back in the day. He was a Brighton boy that come in here, and once we arrived, we realised what a good goalkeeper he was, and also what a great lad he was, and someone that developed and pushed on whilst we were here and done very well for us. I actually, when he left here, I actually helped him get a job at Aldershot. So we've stayed in contact, like I have quite a few of the boys, and really, really fortunate the opportunity came up with Mitch, because it wasn't on the cards. He was quite happy where he was, and there was a late change in management. So thankfully, we got a bit of luck on that one and managed to get it over the line.
And obviously with Mitch, he come as buy one, get free, basically. So you ended up getting Joe and Luca as well.
Yeah, obviously that wasn't planned. Like I say, Mitch knows what we're about. He knows sort of what type of characters and what type of players that we brought in whilst he was here in the previous era. So, what we were looking for. I just felt that they had such a strong defensive record, that they were available, both of good age, both of good experience, both know the league. I just felt it was probably the best decision to push the button on them relatively early, to at least get that little bit of stability. Jacob Mensah was here as a centre half last year and the captain, and he made it clear quite early on that he wanted to stay as high as he could. So although potentially we could have waited a little bit, he was very open and honest with that. So I felt that to get the spine of the defence sorted early was a good step. They know each other. So I'm looking forward to working with them too. Obviously we've started pre-season, both really good characters. We played yesterday, looked strong players. So I'm pleased with that. Yeah,
obviously we're speaking just after the Sevenoaks game. You were able to try a few things out. How did it go, do you feel?
Yeah, obviously. First one, we've only been in a week. There was lots of trialists, because we've still got quite a few positions to fill. So it was a little bit disjointed, but we let in an early goal. But other than that, I felt we dominated the game, and unfortunately we had to play the last sort of 20 minutes with 10 men because one of the lads got injured, and the ref wouldn't let one of the subs to go back on, which is a bit of a shame. But no, for the first one, relatively pleased.
Now, obviously, Baptiste signed. You've retained some others as well. Just talk about all the lads that you've retained and your decision-making behind all of that.
Yeah, I looked to retain the majority of last year, strangely as it sounds. I felt when we come in, I was relatively pleased that we were always up against it. We were desperately short down the spine of the team, obviously with the goalkeeper situation. We never really had a big lad at the back. Scott Holding and Jacob done very well for us, but both very similar, I felt, and I felt we were a little bit weak in both boxes from that sense. And the rest of the boys, especially the younger boys who I feel that were actually could actually stood up in the National South and performed relatively well. I felt that keeping hold of them would be important. Didn't keep hold of everyone I'd like, but we kept hold of a few, which all the ones that have stayed, I'm really pleased with, and I really do feel that they've got huge potential to push on.
So Jake, obviously when you're building a team, it's all about getting the right characters in. Just explain to me the sort of player that you're looking for, the sort of person, their DNA that you need.
Well, first and foremost, that they want to be here. I think that's really important, that they want to be here. Obviously, it's a good club with good pedigree. There's always been an issue with obviously where we're located, but they want to be here first and foremost, and we want to give them a platform to play and to progress, and hopefully move on individually and as a club.
Yeah, and of course, as you say, the location is always a problem, and of course, budgets as well. And in the past, maybe the club have perhaps recruited sort of players that are more journeymen and are just there for the money. But you don't want those sort of players, do you?
No, I mean, where I've been lucky enough to have success wasn't with that type of player. So, you know, automatically I'm drawn to, my memories are, you know, where did I do well? What club was I at that we done well? And the DNA was really young, hungry boys that want to progress themselves and take the club with them, really. So that was always the way I want to go. But, you know, that's not to say that, you know, if an experienced boy come along and ticked all the boxes, you know, like a Mitch Walker, but obviously I know Mitch, you know, Mitch is 32. If one did come along, I wouldn't be against it, but it'd have to be the right one for the right reasons.
Now, of course, July, it starts getting busy towards the end of July as you start getting towards the start of the new season, and that's usually when more players become available, because I suppose you have players this time of year weighing up their options, maybe getting chances at clubs at a higher level, which is fair enough. But it is about staying patient, isn't it, and waiting for those sort of players.
Yeah, you know, it's a real balancing act, really, really difficult. I'm quite fortunate, really, that, you know, I'm quite relaxed about it. Obviously, I worked with Chris for a lot of years and watched, and you know, how he coped with the situation. You know, ideally, I do believe to win any league, you need to have players that can play in the league above. And I think, obviously, when Dover in this league previously with Hess, you know, the lads that he signed, you know, in this level were players that could have played a lot higher. So, yeah, I think, you know, it's important to be patient. It's a bit of a gamble, but I think it's a gamble that is worth waiting for. Hopefully, if we can pick up 2 or 3 to add to the squad that, you know, really can play above these levels, that is always going to help us. But obviously, if we can't, then, you know, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But I am hopeful. Obviously, we're in contact with a lot of boys that are trialling at other clubs. So, you know, from my point of view, I hope they don't get the move they want and they come here.
Now, you decided to return to Dover Athletic as manager last season. Some people might have thought you were mad, actually, at the time, because the club, with the predicament the club was in. But what attracted you back to Crabble?
Well, I mean, I didn't come back to be manager. I come back to assist Mitch. Obviously, you know, from afar, I mean, although I'm a local boy, you know, from afar I was seeing what was going on. And as you know, Justin, we've got such great memories of this club. And I just felt that with all my experience and my knowledge, I just felt that I could help. I come in initially to help Mitch, and that is genuine. I come in to help Mitch. And then, you know, for whatever reason, the chairman made the decision with Mitch, and I took the opportunity. I was probably a little bit mad, to be honest, you know, because I was right up against it. But again, I've come in, I was out the game for a little while, so, you know, I'm generally really relaxed about the situation. I know what I can offer. I know the history of the club. Obviously, I've been successful as a player and in management, you know, obviously assisting previously. So I just felt that, you know, it was the right time.
Now, obviously, Mike Sandman's assisting you. How does that work? And he's obviously a very good coach, someone you've got a lot of respect for.
Yeah, I mean, mine and Mike's initial coming together was when me and Chris turned up, and Mike was a coach here with Nicky Forster and Steve Brown, and we didn't get off on a great foot because it was a really difficult situation to be in. Obviously, Nicky went on to garden leave, and Brownie stayed about with Mike, you know, Mike coaching. But there was always something about him. All the boys, you know, some experienced players really spoke really high about his sessions. And obviously, the last few years, I've, you know, kept an eye on the academy, and everyone speaks really highly as him as a coach. So I just felt, you know, that, you know, we wanted to go young. A lot of the academy boys had got in the first team, so, you know, he'd obviously been doing a very good job. And once I got to know him, I really felt that he was going to be a good fit. And yeah, so far it's been really good. You know, we've got a few, you know, we disagree on a few things, of course we do. And it's a difficult balance, but as a guy, he's a smashing guy, and he's a great coach, and so far so good.
But that's a good dynamic, isn't it? When you don't want a number two who just simply agrees with everything. You do want to challenge each other.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and that's the beauty of football. There's no right or wrong, but I think it's important that we're singing off the same hymn sheet. Yeah, I think I frustrate the life out of him because, you know, he's he puts players forwards, and you haven't even seen him, Jake. But the DNA doesn't fit to where I want to go. If you think of all the players that we've progressed here, and obviously I was part of a really successful Dagenham team with John Steele. The type of players that I saw push on, they're the type of players that I want to sign. So it is. You're going to get, of course, you're going to get some wrong. You're going to get some right, but I think it's important that the majority of the squad is of that ilk.
What's your expectations this season? I mean, obviously the club have had a tough time the last 4 or 5 years. Obviously, 2 relegations in 3 seasons. So, what realistically would be your expectations?
I just want to turn up on a Saturday and enjoy watching Dover, like I'm sure the fans do. There's been so much frustration for so many years. I mean, results for so long have been so bad. So, my expectations really is, can we put smiles on people's faces? Can we see them walk down the hill, with that buzz, like so many times previously that we've enjoyed, Justin, as as supporters. See if we can win games at home. I want to play football that we want to put teams under pressure. We want to create chances, and we want to create a buzz around this place. Hopefully a few more will come, score some goals, and everyone go home happy.
Yeah, and of course the club are going down the route of a community club, and I think that's what non-league sides should be, to be quite frank. You need your community, you need the local businesses, you need all the fans, whether it's coming in through the turnstiles, buying your Crabble burger or a pint, or even joining the 200 club, which I'm going to do today. I must say, it sounds great to win £1,000. So it's a great chance to bring money down. That's vital, isn't it? You need everyone on the side.
Oh, definitely. You only have to look at the local clubs around that are achieving that. There's no reason why we can't get back to that. I mean, I felt in my, when I was here as a boy with my dad, it really felt like the type of club. Obviously, the route we took, going into the National League. And all that, perhaps as a club, I think we got away from that a little bit, and it's going to be really difficult to build trust and build that back. But it is so important. Obviously, Vicky's on board. Mega have been an unbelievable sponsor with that, and she's doing a fantastic job. It's going to take time, obviously, but we want the people of the town to believe in the project, to get behind us, and see if we can give this a right go.
Of course, it's very important, isn't it, for players to have a good environment. So you want the fans all on side, you want the community on side, because that's crucial for players, isn't it? And how do you sell a club like this? Because I look behind them, what a lovely ground this is. It really is. I mean, surely it's the best, if not one of the best grounds in this division.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a national league ground. We're in the National League for a long time, so regarding that, I mean, the pitch is looking absolutely amazing. I mean, although obviously the 3G pitches are more and more. I mean, preferably I prefer the boys to play on the grass. Obviously, it would be better for the community if there was a 3G, but on a selfish point of view, from a first team manager's point of view, it's a great facility, it's a great stadium. And when I'm looking to recruit, although it's been a while, we've been up in them divisions. Boys are fully aware of the history and pedigree of the club, and it's been there before, so there's no reason why it can't get back to them levels.
I mean, what's happened in the past is obviously gone now, but what lessons did you learn from last season? Because obviously you came in halfway through. What do you think was the biggest thing that you learned yourself?
I think the level took me a little bit by surprise, because obviously previously I was in the National League. There was a few really good sides in there. I was impressed with quite a few of them, if I'm honest. But I felt we stuck in there defensively, we tightened up, and we did create chances. It wasn't as if we were putting 10 behind the ball, leaving 1 up front. We found it difficult in quite a few games, but there was a lot of games that we should have got something out of, and that was, I'm convinced of it, the squad balance, and in both boxes, there was quite a few games we definitely should have got more than we did.
Now, on Sunday, there's a supporters match being played here, where fans get the chance to play against a Dover Athletics Legends team. There's a rumour that you're playing, Jake, is that true?
I haven't made my mind up, to be honest. I mean, like you said from the beginning of the interview, I think it's really important that we get back out in the community and do these type of things. We're actually training down here Thursday. We're going to have an open training session, so it'd be nice for some supporters to come along to meet the new boys. And then Sunday, we're putting on a game against the supporters. Initially, I just wanted to ask the local boys that play for Dover, but it's gone a little bit further afield now, and I'm hoping for a few Dover legends that. I don't want to say who they are in case they say they're going to come. So hopefully there might be a few surprises turn up Sunday as well.
I'm just looking at the list that's on the website. I mean, Paul Hyde, obviously legend, Matt Carruthers, a local boy, brilliant, Roy Godden, James Rogers, Jimmy Dryden, Tom Winter.
Yeah, all local boys who had a decent career here. Obviously Paul helps us out a little bit. He did last season on the goalkeeping coaching. So Paul's been a friend of mine since I was a hero player. He's a teacher over Rashford, and I bump into him quite a lot, and we stay in contact. There's a lot of local lads that unfortunately can't be here due to holidays. Wanted to be here. So the response I've had from the local boys, and not only the local boys, from boys that I've had here previously, in regards to recruitment, has been really encouraging and really pleasing.
Yeah, and of course on Sunday, fingers crossed, England might even get to the finals. You never know. The game's on in the bar afterwards. Isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's meant to be, isn't it? If England can beat Holland Wednesday, I never dreamt when we booked it. We booked it purposely on the 14th, so the bar would be open. It would be the Euros final. But after watching the early stages, we never dreamt England would be there. But I almost feel that if we can beat Holland Wednesday, what a great opportunity for Dover, the community, all the fans, that perhaps stayed away to get back and support this club. Come up here Sunday. Well, come up here Saturday. We've got Ramsgate midday. Get a look at the new squad. Obviously, it's not finalised. The squad. There'll still be trialists. We've still got a lot of work to be done, but it'd be really good to see everyone up here. If not Saturday, then Sunday. The bar will be open. There's going to be, like I say, there's going to be all the local boys that can make it, and hopefully a few legends have said that they'll pop down as well. And Clive Walker's coming down as well, so I've obviously asked Jim to get an extra couple of bottles of white wine in.
And of course, we've just been talking about some very happy times at the club, and it's going to be great on Sunday to see some old faces. And this is what this is all about, isn't it? Putting smiles back on people's faces and making Dover Athletic a fun club to support.
Yeah, that's our memories, Justin, isn't it? From the early John Huss days. That's my memories. This club's special. It's been special in our lives, and I want it to be special in kids' lives moving forward.